Hello everyone and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today, a few awesome viewers commented recently to let me know that this game is one that I might be interested in, even though it was played about a month ago. And so, like Liam Neeson in Taken, I have looked for it, I have found it, and I will kill it. I am, of course, just kidding. Not too sure how you even go about killing a file of a recorded video game. But what I will do is cast the Viper, playing as the Mayans in yellow as he takes on Mr. Yo, playing as the Incas in blue. Now, while the players heard their herdables explore their immediate surroundings and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP, not a bad time, not a bad opportunity for us to take a look at the Civ matchup that we are going to be watching today. And I have some pretty damn high expectations for this Civ matchup. Let's see lots and lots of Eagles, for example. But in any event, before we even get to that stage, let's take a look at the Mayans in Archer Civ. Their skirmishers can be upgraded to throw a second, albeit weaker projectile. Their foot archers, except for those skirmishers I just mentioned, do become progressively cheaper as the game goes on, starting in the Feudal Age, which does help them master their unique unit, the Plumed Archer. This is the fastest foot archer in the game, and one that comes with a small attack bonus against infantry. Maybe we won't see Eagle Warriors. Now, to support your ranged units against the enemy, Mayan walls, gates, both palisade and stone, are 50% cheaper. Buy one, get one free, so archers can stay safe behind a lot of these. And if you want to go the Eagle route, well, you can upgrade your Eagles to get a massive 40 extra HP. That'll help produce as large an army as possible. Mayan resources do last 15% longer, and they start the game, if you noticed, with an extra villager, which means they start the random map game mode housed, which is why you'll have seen the loom upgrade being researched immediately for the Mayan in yellow. But in exchange for that extra villager, they also started the game with 50 less food. Now, speaking of food, let's take a look at the Incas. Pretty much a quintessential counter civilization. Not that I'm expecting to see cavalry between two meso civilizations, but if your opponent does go cavalry, well, you can rely on your first unique unit, the Kamayuk, a ranged infantry unit that carries a very long spear and comes with a massive attack bonus against a bunch of different mounted units. Now, if perhaps something a little bit more likely in this matchup, your opponent goes infantry, well, the Incas can rely on their other unique unit, the Slinger, an archer unit that comes with a pretty big attack bonus against infantry, and which can be upgraded to get a small attack boost. Now, to counter archers, which I'm assuming were also, I'm assuming a lot of things so far. It's been 4 minutes and 45 seconds. I think I've made like 7 assumptions so far. In any event, if we get to see archers out of our Mayan player, which maybe a safe bet, well, the Incas can rely on their skirmishers, which not only get all archery range, blacksmith, and university upgrades, but can also be upgraded to have no minimum range at all, which does take away one of their biggest weaknesses. Now, to make their army last a little bit longer on the battlefield, the Kamayuk Slingers and the Incan Eagle Warrior can all be upgraded to get extra melee and pierce armor and help them build and support their military industrial complex. Their military units cost less and less food as the game goes on, all the way up to 25% less food in Imperial. They do start the game for you eagle-eyed viewers. In the beginning, you may have seen a free llama underneath the town center, which may not sound like much, but does give them 100 food, minus decay, of course, or an extra unit, rather not or, but and an extra unit to scout the map with. Their buildings cost 15% less stone. Their houses support 10 population space instead of 5, which does free up a little bit of wood in the earlier stages of the game for army, for example. And their villagers are harder to raid because starting in the Castle Age, they do benefit from infantry blacksmith upgrades and BT dubs. If you look at the top right of your screen, the Incas get all infantry blacksmith upgrades. So those are the two civilizations war erupting in Mesoamerica. And let's see how well the Mayans do taking on the Incas. Let's take a look at the battlefield now that the players have pretty much explored their explorables and their immediate surroundings. Attack path is not very clear. It looks like 3 forests, actually, between the two players. Both of them look like they are starting in a bit of a depression with some mountains ringing around the edges of both of these bases. Primary gold for Mr. Yo, nice and secure to the back. Primary stone, a little bit exposed to the front, but as part of a wall-off, we'll see whether or not he decides to secure it. A little bit of extra gold to the, let's call this the rear-ish position. And his third gold, oh man, that is not good. It is very much in the forward position, as I see some of the Viper's resources are as well. And where is that secondary stone? Okay, also off of the attack path, not really in the forward or rear, kind of middle attack off the grid location. So might be a good source of stone for him to mine. He has, though, not even explored that part of the map just yet. Forests, 3 of them, triangle shape, 1 in the forward position. We'll see how well he decides, or rather how he decides to use it. And he's actually going up to Feudal Age off the back of 4 fewer villagers and only 20 seconds apart. Oh, goodness. Look at Mysterio's TC idle time. So 2 things I'm noticing already. Number 1, Viper's going fast castle, which, okay. I mean, let's take a look at his resources, and if he's seen, he's seen both patches of stone. Why am I worried about stone so much? Yeah, he's definitely going fast castle, our Mayan, because the Plumed Archer is a unit that costs only wood and gold. And if you have been following the meta, yeah, okay, there we go. Now I know why you commenters asked me to watch this game and comment on this game. If you've watched the Viper lately, if you've basically not been living under a hill when it comes to Age of Empires, you'll know that the Phosphoru of the red variety, red Phosphoru's fast castle builds, are all the rage right now. The way it works is you rush your butt up to Feudal Age, and you rush your butt up to Castle Age, you cease all villager production, you secure a patch of stone immediately to get a castle up, and then you have a unique unit that costs only wood and gold. And so you don't even need villagers. As long as you can secure a patch of gold and a basically row of lumberjacks, you are absolutely safe to start pumping out your unique unit. Now, we saw the Viper do this with the Bengali Ratha, for example, the Korean War Wagon, but the Plumed Archer is not exactly the same thing here. And I think Mysterio realizes it, because there is a massive train of blue dots moving across the map. I didn't even have a chance to look at the Viper's base, but primary goal to the rear. Stone is about to get lamed or attacked. Oh, that's very sour for him. He's only up to 380 stone. Oh no, he's up to only 420 now. For all you potheads, he's 30 seconds away from Castle Age. He is desperately mining this stone right now. And Mysterio, what is he going to do? How's he going to defend this? Rather, against this, the Viper sends more villagers forward. Remember, because they're Mayans, because they research Loom immediately, you don't really have to worry about, oh shit, did I forget Loom? No, part of the Mayan build order is Loom. Mysterio is being a little bit relaxed here. The Viper's up to 520 stone. So is this going to be a red Phosphoru build with the Mayans? Again, I'm not 100% sure that this is a build order that really... How do I put this? A Plumed Archer doesn't hit quite as hard as a triple-digit HP Ratha or a War Wagon or an organ gun from the Portuguese. And so the kill count, Mysterio has killed 3 villagers, but the Viper has secured enough stone. And there you go. Usually in the red Phosphoru build, you want to find the ideal location for a castle to defend both your gold and your wood line. And now the Viper, unless Mysterio parks his archers, oh, Mysterio knows what's up. I was gonna say parks his archers or builds a tower, will be able to lame this gold. So the Viper has a very brief opportunity here to try to take on this tower, because if he doesn't, and if he can't mine gold, he cannot get Plumed Archers out. But generally, you kind of want to secure both these resources with one single castle. And take a look at the Viper. Now he's going to start racking up TC idle time, because he is no longer training villagers at all. And here is the tower. It has 3 villagers, about to have 4 villagers inside. Mysterio's pivoting to the right side. How many of the Viper? Yeah, he saw the gold over here, so he might be looking to lame additional gold. Has he seen the 3rd gold? Have we? Yes and no. Yes, he has. So he knows there's no gold miners up here to the north. And so beautiful, brilliant play here out of Mysterio. And here come the Plumed Archers. So in Castle Age, they are 20% cheaper, which means they're 44 wood, 44 gold. So not exactly the most expensive of units, but honestly, like I said, I'm curious to see how this Phosphoru build works with a bit of a weaker Castle Age wood gold unit, right? I mean, the War Wagon attacks has one of the highest base attacks for an archer unit. The organ gun is a ridiculously powerful unit. Even the Ratha, honestly, by virtue of having triple digit HP, is a tanky unit that even in melee mode now does automatic trample damage. Looks like the Viper did manage to add a few more villagers because he is losing a bunch. Mysterio's killed 5 villagers. Whereas the Plumed Archer, with no upgrades, attacks on a 5 and has 4 range. Now it has 5. So we'll see what the Viper can actually accomplish here. He's got to get rid of this. He's got to get rid of this tower. Otherwise, he's not mining gold up here, rather to the east. He's not mining gold to the north. He is definitely very much in tower destruction mode right now, and he needs to get it ASAP. And he, by the way, needs to get Bodkin as well, but he doesn't have the resources for it. A second defensive tower to get the back of this tower is going up. But why did he build the houses first? No, forget the house. Jump into the tower. You've got each other's backs. There we go. Okay. Realizes that it looks like those Plumed Archers to the north have engaged with Mr. Yo's army. And this is what I'm talking about. Other civilizations with these kinds of wood gold units by now would have definitely gotten some villager kills on the other side of the map. Meanwhile, it's Mr. Yo who's getting villager kills. And now the Viper's going Eagles, which is a food goal. Okay, so it didn't quite work out the way the Viper wanted it to, and he's not exactly the Incas. Now, Eagle Warriors in terms of food costs are not very heavy. I think it's 25 food, 50 gold. But right now, the Incas, which are still in the Feudal Age, would still have, I believe, a 15% discount on 25 food. That being said, these Eagles, because of the minimum range of these Incan skirmishers, which in Castle Age can be upgraded for not a very expensive upgrade, Andy and Sling, removes their minimum range. Okay. What's the tower situation here? Oh no. Oh no, but oh yes, for the Viper, he doesn't have enough wood to build a mining camp. Holy moly, this is such a threadbare game for both players. Mr. Yo's ahead 9 villagers. He has an army count lead, the better army on the whole, to be honest, except for those 3 Eagles. Plumed Archers, what they have going for them, if you saw the game very, very recently, as I mentioned, is twofold. Their speed and their higher HP. I honestly don't know if we're going to reach Imperial Age, so I don't think we're going to get to see Eagles. I'm going to revise my assumptions from earlier on. But for now, the Plumed Archers are just absolutely getting wrecked here, and the Viper needs to switch it up. He's still not training villagers, though. How many farms? So he's got the requisite 7 farms, which I believe 6 or 7 is what you need to basically sustain enough food for a single villager. And if it sustains enough food for a single villager, and an eagle costs half the food of a villager, then it should be enough to sustain a few eagles instead of villagers. The rest is all wood and gold. Mysterio, for his part, is going up to elite skirmisher now that he's in the Castle Age as well. He's still ahead villager 6. The Viper has managed to pick off 2 villagers for his part. His eagles are taking a lot of damage, and even though he does finally have Bodkin, can it reach? Okay, so Bodkin will reach this tower. What a weird, wonky game. And now the Slinger comes out. Imagine having a hand cannoneer level attack bonus against infantry that you can train out of a freaking archery range. And by the way, super not expensive. 40 food, 40 gold, minus, of course, the 15. Sorry, yeah. No, my bad. I believe we're in Castle Age, so 20% discount. So 32 food and 40 gold. Is cheaper than the Plumed Archer. Villager pops out. Not too sure what she was doing with a pickaxe in her hand, but looks like all of the villagers here in the forward position have died. The Viper's villagers are working away at this tower, and once that falls, honestly, does he even need to kill that tower? He's got 13 villagers on gold over here. That being said, there is a big, giant Flavor Flav clock ticking away at the Viper's chances of winning this game right now. Oh, look at that insult to injury. He makes these skirmishers have to move around into castle fire. Oh, only the Viper realizes that he's basically not going to lose villagers to skirmishers, and then tries to get them to go the wrong way. Well, the wrong way for Mr. Yo, the right way for him. But there is a big clock right now. Oh, okay. This is how he plans to speed up the clock, because plumed archers are not cutting it. He's killed 4 villagers to 6. He hasn't really done that much economic damage. Mr. Yo's on 2 town centers. He's almost jacked all of his wood here to the east, but he's got another very thick, juicy wood line to the north. If the Viper can't do critical damage, Mr. Yo is eventually just going to completely overrun with his economy. And that's why he needs this secondary unit. He's already gone up to 2 mangonels. One is moving this way. Why is he moving this way? What does he expect to see here? If Mr. Yo can get the better mangonel shots here, and by better mangonel, I don't even mind that he lost his mangonel. What I meant by better is just kill the Viper's mangonels. Because if you can kill the Viper's mangonels, even if you trade out 1-to-1 or 1-to-2, let's say, your bigger economy is going to kick in, and then these plumed archers are going to have absolutely nothing that they can do against you. Again, speed and HP are what are supposed to make up for lack of range until they hit the elite version, and lack of attack. I mean, this unit attacks on a 7, even a villager right now. And remember, I guess no infantry upgrades just yet, but they do benefit from these infantry upgrades. Oh, and now the Viper is kind of sandwiched here, so things are going from bad to worse. It looks like Mr. Yo's brought back home his skirmisher force. They are firing no ballistics, but maybe it's all a trap. The Viper's here with 2 mangonels of his own, training a 3rd. Has Mr. Yo, he must have seen this siege workshop. He has. How the hell is this tower still up? I guess he left it with those 4 villagers. Now he just trained a single eagle. Very not great attack round there, Adam. Mr. Yo, you need to repair that mangonel immediately. This is a very exposed town center, though. Your opponent is adding mangonels, and you're building a very exposed town center very far from your settlement. And the plumes are going to see it immediately. Now, they do outrange. Actually, no, sorry. They don't outrange. They have the exact same range of 6 as the town center. The mangonels outrange it. Okay, he is repairing. Viper gets a double whammy here as he goes after the repairing villagers. Where the hell do these plumed archers think they're going? They're just luring. They're luring the skirmishers to their deaths. And absolute destruction here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, good trade. Again, just focus on the mangonels right now for Mr. Yo. You're ahead 18, 17 villagers now. The Viper's laying siege to the town center to the left as his plumed archers try to get something done. I absolutely love, if you're wondering why the hell the Viper ran his plumed archers right into the face of an overwhelmingly large number of skirmishers that come with a decent attack bonus against them, it was to keep those skirmishers in place. Hey, they're gonna fire, maybe they'll kill 1 or 2 plumed archers. That's never really a given, but the mangonels would have basically done what they did exactly here. And a brilliant play out of the Viper. Mr. Yo falling for it. Absolutely atrocious attack round out of him. 3rd town center has fallen. Not the end of the world for the Incas. Remember, their town centers do cost 15% less stone. Just tiny, but still a savings. He does have the high ground, but he is outnumbered 4 mangonels to 1 as I finish that sentence. 4 mangonels to 0, and this is the... Okay, I was literally about to say, this is the game changer unit here for the Viper. So the clock was ticking, 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 and I think he realized he couldn't do it alone. The poor plumed archer, as cool, as fast, as awesome as it is to look at, could not accomplish this on its own. And he added in just enough mangonels to absolutely wreck this Incan army. And by the way, he is training even more mangonels. So Mr. Yo, kudos to him for realizing what was happening here. Kudos to him for scouting it. Any player who didn't scout would not have seen this mining camp in the early feudal, or mid to late feudal, when he saw the mining camp. Then he brought his villagers. He brought his adorably weak but numerous, bountiful Feudal Age army here. He got 3 villager kills. That was an amazing attempt to stall by Mr. Yo. The 2 towers over here were fantastic. Would have loved to see them up maybe the second one a little bit earlier. And then the attempted lame over here. with the gold. For a while, it looked like the Viper was just about ready to tap out. He had his castle up, which was literally the only thing going for him. That's literally the only thing he had going for him. This gold was lamed. This gold was lamed. This gold was behind enemy lines. And without gold, I guess you have a market if you want to sell stuff. But without gold, you can't really train gold wood units. And the Viper, what do we want to call this? Is this a red phosphorus build? Again, I don't know. This is not exactly the organ gun, the Ratha, the war wagon. This is a, on the whole, fairly weak unit, especially when it comes to settlement destroying, right? These guys can run in, they can dart in, but they're not going to, because a town center firing arrows on these guys is going to do a lot more damage than a town center firing on a freaking war wagon or even a Ratha with, like I said, triple digit HP when they pop out. So the Viper, realizing that he's going to have to modify the red phosphorus build to provide a bit of a backup unit, does go for the Mangonel, which is the right choice. Mysterio, unfortunately, not trading out Mangonels as well as he should have, and perhaps should he have just ignored skirmishers altogether? Should he just have gone pure Mangonel play? Look at his wood count. He can plop down another siege workshop right here. He can maybe, where's so this stone is secure, this stone not so secure anymore. Should he have gone for the third town center all the way over here, or should he have put a mining camp? I feel like if he got a castle up, the Viper would have GG'd, realizing that he had just lamed his economy way too much and had no chance of success against the castle. There's nothing the Viper has or that his economy is geared towards right now that could take down a castle, unless he starts pumping out massive amounts of rams. And against that, of course, Mysterio has the venerable Eagle Warrior that I believe comes with a decent attack bonus against Siege in the Castle Age. I mean, even the Scout should have one, Siege +3, and a Warrior for sure will have a higher one. But at the end of the day, thank you to everyone who commented that I should watch this game. I thought, to be fair, I thought we were going to get to see big Eagle battles. I wanted to see El Dorado taking on Fabric Shields. I wanted to see them rip into each other. Instead, we got a bit of a modified red phosphorus build. Well, like I said, we call it the yellow phosphorus for the Viper. Plumed archers and mangonels against skirmishers and half the mangonel count. This is, I like that he went slingers for a while once he saw that there were some Mayan eagles out, and you've already got your infrastructure in the archery range. Might as well pump them out. Like I said, it is a very undervalued unit. I don't know why I keep opening and closing this, apologies. The Slinger, because it comes with a +10 attack bonus against infantry. Like I said, the only other unit I can think of offhand that's not a unique unit that, sorry, I should say that's not a unique unit that can be trained only from a castle, right? Because the Jaguar Warrior, for example, also comes with a +10 attack bonus against infantry and such. But this is the only Castle Age unit that is that dirt cheap that comes with a hand cannoneer level attack bonus against infantry, which is a pretty big freaking deal in my opinion in Castle Age. Anyway, enough ranting about the Slinger. Peak APM right at the end for the Viper. Of course, he was microing all this army. Peak APM for Mysterio. Look at that. Literally a minute apart. Usually Mysterio is right at the beginning. So both of them microing their armies. The Incan economy about 20% bigger. No relic gold for you, Mysterio, at the moment. The Viper does get more gold and stone. No surprise there. I feel like he sold 100 stone to get up to the Castle Age, which is good for him. Had he sold both patches of both patches, had he sold the full 200 you start with, he may not have gotten the stone that he needed. Mysterio was putting a lot of pressure after not putting very much pressure. It started as a weak pressure and then ramped up. And then the trash resources going to our Inca. 56 kills to 19, 3 buildings destroyed to 0. How many villager kills at the end of the day? 16 to 6. So the Viper, even though he killed 16 villagers to 6, he killed 10 more. He's still 10 villagers behind. And like I said, there's a Flavor Flav clock on him, on anybody who sacrifices their economy in such a ridiculously fun manner. Well, fun for us to watch, not so fun for the players who are stressing about it. There's a clock on them, and the Viper, luckily for him, realized that and added in these absolute building destroying death dealers known as mangonels. And again, if these weren't here, then I think there would have been a GG. If Mysterio had gone for the stone, I think there would have been a GG. If, when, maybe, who knows, doesn't really matter. What a super fun build. I put it up to the audience. Is this technically a red Phosphoru build? If you go for 2 different wood gold units as opposed to just the one from the castle, I feel like this is a slightly modified red Phosphoru build. We'll call it a light red Phosphoru build, or maybe just a yellow Phosphoru build for the Viper. It definitely is a fast castle strategy, which seems to be all the rage these days. These the new world order of Age of Empires, and it is with that new world order and the absolute boss unit that is the Mangonel. 10 kills for him, 21 kills, including 11 villager kills for the Plumed Archer. Again, very cool to see this unit used, but I suspected from the beginning that it was a little bit too weak to do it on its own, and I'm glad that my game sense isn't too off here. Unfortunately, Mr. Yo just did not get the proper Mangonel kills, fell for the trap here that the Viper set for him, lost all of his skirmishers, although to be fair, not too sure what skirmishers are going to accomplish against 4 Mangonels. That's going to require a lot of micro, but ultimately the Viper, with the getting of the stone, the destruction of the towers, but more importantly, securing this gold patch. Without this gold patch, he would have had nothing. He would have GG'd. And unfortunately for Mr. Yo, he did get that gold patch, takes the W, but GG to both players.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.